back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa and I, and welcome to the fam. Have you ever wondered how attractive that you really are? Like, truthfully, honestly, without any sugarcoating? That is exactly what I'm here to read for you today. So you guys, I'm going to be brutally honest, and I just want to say that right now up front, okay? Don't get your expectations up for a reading where you're just going to hear what you want to hear. We're going to be talking about the things that are amazing about you, as well as the things that maybe people find a little intimidating or people struggle with. So if you are looking for truthful readings, this is the right channel for you. So I have 5 groups that you can choose from, and I want you to pick one of these 5 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever mineral, whichever card that you feel really hits the spot for you, which one you feel really resonates deeply. So once you have the group of your choice, just click your timestamp and fast forward to your reading. So the 5 groups are as follows. We have the emerald, we have the black tourmaline, we have the orange calcite, we have the tiger eye, as well as the coffee obsidian. And because a lot of you ask me what decks I'm using, I will introduce you to some of my decks today. So these are the 3 decks that I'm using today. First up here, we have the Spirit Song Tarot. Then in the blue right here, we have the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. This is honestly one of my favorites, but I've already mentioned that in the past. Then last but not least, I will be using the Gaia Oracle, which corresponds to this pile of cards right here. And this is what the deck looks like. So I hope that that answered any questions about the decks that I'm using. So yeah, guys, I want to keep the intro short so we can spend more time within your individual reading. So if you're new to my channel, make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed your reading, and hit that notification bell in order to ensure that you never miss another reading that could be relevant to your life. So I'm gonna get right into it, and I will be starting the readings off with the first group, which corresponds to the emerald, and to all the other groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the emerald group number 1. I want to get straight into your reading so we can talk about how attractive you really are. So first and foremost, we have the 8 of feathers. So one thing that I see that is in fact attractive about you, that people like about you, is that they find you to be courageous. They find you to be somebody who is not afraid to dare, who is not afraid to try something new, and who is always trying to find a solution to a problem. So when there's an obstacle in your life, you don't just see it as an obstacle, you see it as a challenge, and you tackle it in a way how a lot of people would be afraid to tackle said problem. And people look up to you for that. You may not even notice that this is something that you do. This may actually come as a little bit of a surprise or as a shock for you, but that is how it is, group number 1. Moving further into your reading, we have the 7 of crystals. So in the 7 of crystals, one thing that I see here is that people find you to be somebody who is relatively attractive because it is obvious that you have quite a few options in life here. So having options in love, having options in your career, etc. I mean, it is no secret. I don't think that this is fair whatsoever, but this is just reality, that people who are considered attractive in society often have more options and more opportunities, and people feel as though your life is filled with options, which means that they do find you attractive. But one thing that they feel as though you could work on is being more oriented on creating the best possible results and not being so focused on all the different options that you do have in life. You know, try to zoom in on one option, like for instance in the romantic realms, try to really make that one relationship work no matter what, or that one job opportunity or opportunity to be an entrepreneur, for instance, instead of like trying and seeing that maybe it's not exactly how you want, and because you have so many other options to choose from, you just jump over to the next. So yes, you are solution oriented, but one thing is about you is that you can sometimes jump from one thing to the other without properly seeing the possibility through, as far as, you know, being able to figure out whether it could really be something big or not. Then we have evolution, as well as Sacred Heart. So in evolution, one thing that I see here is that you've gone through a lot of transformation. So you may have not always been rather attractive, group number one. One thing that I see here with you is that you might have been the ugly duckling growing up. You might have been the ugly friend. You might have been the one who went through a really big glow up, if you know what I mean. And I don't want you to feel as though you still are that person, because it's hard to get over, and that is something that I can totally relate to, group number one. Believe it or not, growing up, like, I was always like the fat one, the ugly one. Like, I was literally in like swim class, they called me Tsunami, like every swim class, you know, and that can stick with you for a long time. You can still feel as though you're the chubby kid or the ugly kid or the one that nobody really desires, even though you've grown up, even though you've changed, your circumstances have changed. So make sure that you move on from that and make sure that you embrace like the person that you are now. Don't allow what other people may have said to you, especially like a long time ago, to still affect your present moment. In the Sacred Heart, I want you to know here that people find you to be like probably a good kisser, probably say good in bed, because you're passionate. That is one thing that I see. I see here that once you're into somebody or once you're into a situation and it like lights you up, there is a fire that ignites within you that just turns you into like this wild animal. Okay, that sounds so lame, but you get what I mean. You're somebody who is not afraid to express their feelings as well as their sexuality, and to just be like romantic as well. Then we have the porcupine spirit as well as the dove spirit. So there is kind of like a part of you that is pretty delicate. There is a part of you that is maybe almost a little innocent. That is one thing that I see in the dove. And in the porcupine spirit, I see that that may kind of like repel people a little bit. Some people may think like you're almost too innocent or inexperienced because you don't put it all out there. You're probably not somebody who likes to wear very revealing clothing. You're probably not somebody who wants to constantly show off their body. You're someone who likes to be more classy, somebody who likes to allow the right people to be attracted into your life, because let's face it, the way you dress and the energy that you give off will attract a certain crowd of people, you know, like if you dress more revealing, you're going to attract another person than you would if you dress more conservatively. The same goes with, for instance, your appearance in your face, your makeup, your hair, how you do those little details, so to say. Obviously, if you have a very extroverted appearance, a very extroverted hair color, or way how you do your face, then that will just attract like a whole different kind of person than if you were all natural and just let your hair grow however it grows. So that is basically what I'm trying to say, that depending on how you look, you're going to attract a different kind of person, and the person that you are attracting right now is somebody who knows exactly where they're going in life. So I see that you're probably attracting somebody who is serious, but that person may be a little bit shy. That is what I see in the armadillo spirit. So if you feel as though you don't get approached very often, know that the kind of person that is into you is a good person to be with, is somebody who is loyal and faithful and looking for stability, but then at the same time, it can be hard for them to approach you. So if you are currently in a relationship, you may have met your current partner through friends or through the internet, because the first barrier is kind of already broken down for a shy person to get into a conversation with you. Whereas if you were somewhere out and about, somebody who is shy is most likely not going to be able to approach you as somebody who is more extroverted. And just because somebody more extroverted could approach you more easily than somebody who is shy doesn't mean that that is the better fit for you. Sometimes the underdog is who we're really meant to be with and who we do attract, but they come up less in our life, which is why we have to cherish them more, if you know what I mean, group number one. Let's move further into your reading. We have the peacock spirit. So it is undeniable, group number one, you are attractive, okay? You're somebody where in society people consider you cute, people consider you hot. whatever you want to call it. You're somebody who lights up a room. When you enter a room, you just basically make people's heads turn. You make them think, wow, you know, who is that? I would like to get to know that person. And you intrigue people. That is one thing that I see, but that could also be intimidating, as we spoke about in the armadillo spirit. That could also leave some people feeling a little insecure to actually approach you. Then we have the Page of Feathers as well as the Queen of Feathers. So we have a lot of feathers here within your reading. Okay, we have the Queen, the 8, and the Page. So it could be that you have this very strong air sign energy where mentally you're very sharp, you're very on point, and you are direct. You're not going to let somebody play games with you, and you're also the kind of person who will set those boundaries. That is another thing that the armadillo spirit stands for. You are not here to let anybody use you as a doormat. That phase is over. If that used to be a phase in your life, as we spoke about with like childhood insecurities, then that was then. And now things are a little different. Even if you still don't see yourself as the most beautiful thing on this earth, you have mentally leveled up. And in the Queen of Feathers, I want you to know that that is like a really big strength in you. And I don't want you to change that. Even if that may intimidate some people, know that the fact that you can say what you want and that you know that what you want is something that puts you ahead of the game. So maybe upon like your first glance, you may feel like it is your downfall just because people might be intimidated by that or might be worried about that. But in the long run, if you're able to say what you will tolerate, if you're able to set those boundaries, then you won't be wasting time with people who don't want to respect that. See it in that way, group number 1. And in the Page of Feathers, you have to explore a little more. One thing that I see here where you could improve is to just discover more parts of you that are still uncovered. Like discover more of your confidence, because I truly believe that a lot of us have extra confidence lying within us that we have just not tapped into yet. And I'm not talking about being cocky. I'm not talking about being over the top. You know, you are beautiful, but the peacock is naturally like that. Yes, people say the peacock is a very proud animal, which it probably is, but it has not like changed itself to be this big presence. It just is. And that goes for you, group number 1. And I want you to make sure that you're maneuvering it in the way that you should, and that you're standing by it proudly, that you're not hiding away from who you've always meant to be. So group number 1, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you found it insightful and maybe also a little motivational to let yourself shine a little more. Let me know down in the comment section what really hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings. Hello, group number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Black Tourmaline, group number 2. So first and foremost, let's do a little close-up on this beautiful gem. It is so gorgeous. Like the camera doesn't even do it justice. Why is it focusing on my face? No, focus on this beautiful gem. So moving straight into your reading, I want to figure out how attractive you really are. So first and foremost, we have the 4 of Crystals. So the 4 of Crystals, one thing that I see here is that people find you to be a very down-to-earth person. So that is one of your most attractive traits. The fact that people feel sort of like welcome and almost like they can just be themselves around you, and that is something that makes you more approachable than other people, even though, you know, there may be that first sort of hurdle where they're a little nervous to speak to you. But once you have those first words or sentences spoken, then everything just relaxes and people realize that you're actually a really nice person. The 4 of Crystals is a very earthy kind of card, so you may be of an earth sign, or that is just the kind of stability energy that you emit to people, and that gives people just the courage and the comfort to be themselves around you. Then we have the 9 of Acorns. So in the 9 of Acorns, I see that you have a very powerful appearance, a very powerful presence and energy, group number 2. So you're really there, okay? When you're somewhere, you can influence the entire mood of the room. You're somebody who can change the frequency of the vibration. You're someone who can have a bigger impact than you maybe ever even expected or knew. And in the Nine of Acorns, I also want you to know that people see you as somebody who does not rely on, say, looks. You're somebody who is very much driven by your capabilities, say academically, or just the things that you have learned by yourself, being street smart and just being like savvy in whatever it is that you do. You never expect to go through life easily. You never expect to just like slip through. You're not an arrogant person, and that is one thing that is truly attractive about you. Then we have the Seven of Shells as well as Temperance. So in the Seven of Shells, one thing that I see here is that you're very ambitious. Okay, in the Seven of Shells, people really like how driven you are. People really like that ambition within you, and just the fact that they feel as though you may go very far in life. One thing about you, however, is that you may be an introvert, group number 2, as I see here in Temperance that going out a little more may be good for you, because you may be the type who is a little timid, the type who is a little hard to read, and people just find that sometimes a little bit, how should I say, it gives them a little bit of a hard time to get into a conversation with you, because they're not really sure what you're thinking, they're not really sure whether you like them or not, and that just like low-key can make people feel a little bit insecure when they can't read you. Because in Temperance, I see that you're very balanced, and being very balanced and in control of your emotions means that sometimes you don't show a lot of emotions, you don't allow people to really see what's going on within you, which then again makes them think like, oh my god, like does this person even like me, or does this person actually think I'm completely boring and crazy, you know what I'm saying? So then we have the Fox spirit as well as the Groundhog spirit. So we have very earthy energy here. I see definitely in the Groundhog spirit that one thing that they love about you is that you're very nurturing. One thing that they find attractive about you is that once you get to know somebody, you are there for them, you are loyal, and if there's any sort of issue, you're there, you're 100% there. You're not the kind of person who panics as well when things hit the fan, okay? Let's put it that way. You act immediately. You just instinctively know what to do. You instinctively know in a situation where there's an emergency how to be calm and how to just take over the lead and make sure that everything ends up being okay. Then we have the Pig spirit as well as the Spider spirit. So in the Pig spirit, I see that you're very smart, okay, intellectually. That is one thing that is very attractive about you, group number 2. So as I said, you don't rely on your looks, and within your reading, it kind of shows because there's not much about appearances, which doesn't mean that you're not good looking on the exterior. What it means is that you find it really attractive when people have an amazing bomb personality. So therefore, that reflects in you. You put a lot of effort into your personality and into the kind of person that you are, and it really shows. So in the Pig spirit, as I said, you're very smart. You're somebody who is witty, who can hold a conversation, and who is interesting to talk to because you've learned a lot of different things, probably also a lot by yourself. That is one thing that I see in the Spider spirit. You're probably somebody who likes to read or likes to watch documentaries and really further their knowledge, and who is self-sufficient. So if you want to do something, you're going to find out how to do it, and then you're just going to do it. And that is one thing that people really adore in you. That is one thing that is attractive about you, group number 2, that you're not afraid to try things, even if you don't really know what you're doing, even if you don't really know where to start. Just making that start is more than most people can do. Then we have Sacred Mother Earth as well as Goddess of Creation. So as we spoke about, you being able to just like do things that you've never done before is attractive. And in the Goddess of Creation, I definitely see that that just correlates to a lot of creativity. And that creativity and the fact that you're able to turn kind of like nothing into something, that is a kind of transformation that is really kind of hot, group number 2. The fact that you're given like lemons by life and you make lemonade out of it. I think that's how the saying goes. That's the kind of person that you are. And in Sacred Earth Mother, I can see here that people really feel a deep connection with you. People really feel like at home when they're around you. And that is the greatest thing. And that is one thing that even if looks fade, even as you get older, you can't fake that, but you have that group number 2. So make use of that. Make sure that you're spending enough time with other people. Make sure that you're allowing other people into your energetic field to really enjoy you and to enjoy what it is that you radiate. So group number 2, this is a reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know in the comment section what really hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the orange calcite group number 3. I want to get straight into your reading, so let's figure out how attractive you really are. First and foremost, we have the traveler. So one thing that I see here is that you're spontaneous. That is one thing that makes you fun, as well as mysterious, because you never really know what to expect with you, group number 3. Then in the high priestess, I see that you're somebody who is very wise, probably wise beyond your years. So say if you're biologically 20, you're probably more like 30, you know, when you speak, the way you present yourself, and the kind of topics that you like to talk about. So you're maybe not so much into, say, partying or drinking. I mean, it may be a little bit of a side thing that you do, but mainly you're more interested, say, in spirituality, for instance, or you're more interested in business development, in the stock market, in furthering your knowledge in biology or chemistry, just something where, you know, people can tell that you're hungry for more, you're hungry for wisdom, and you're not just going to settle with what is like the norm for your demographic. You are an overachiever kind of person. Then we have the page of feathers as well as the 4 of feathers. So we have 2 feathers here, as well as, you know, this kind of like gazelle that's in the air. So I definitely feel like there is some air sign energy here. There is some energy here that is very intellectual, that is very smart. In the 4 of feathers, I see that you're a chill person. That is one thing that people like. And in the page of feathers, I see that you're probably really attractive because your energy is young, your energy is approachable, and it's also kind of like fresh, if you know what I mean. You're like a breath of fresh air, you're like a fresh glass of freshly squeezed orange juice. I don't know how else to describe it, but do you know that feeling when you're really thirsty and you just get like a really nice cold beverage? That is the feeling that you give people, group number 3. And don't call me crazy, okay? That is exactly what I see. And yeah, just the fact that you're chill, you know, you have that zest, you give the situation life, but at the same time, you don't make it stressful, because you're probably somebody who likes to sleep, okay? Group number 3, not trying to get all up in your business or call you out, but you're probably somebody who just genuinely and generally is a chill person and enjoys chilling. And you don't want a stressful life, you don't want drama, you don't want beef, because maybe you don't eat beef, maybe you're a vegetarian or a vegan, and you're just all for peace. You're just all for having like a relaxed time and not stressing about things. Then we have the dragonfly spirit as well as the dolphin spirit. So in the dolphin spirit, we have another emphasis on the fact that you're probably smart academically, or maybe you're very book smart, you taught yourself a lot of things. You don't have to have a certain degree to be intelligent. Intelligence, there are so many different definitions for it. You know, there's emotional intelligence, which is not intelligence that is ranked, rated, or taught in school. So academic intelligence is one kind of intelligence, and that does not exclude that you're very strong in other types of intelligence. And it does not mean that if you're bad academically that you're not smart. That is what I'm trying to say. So one thing that I see here in the dolphin spirit is that yes, maybe in school you were good or okay, but that is not all that there is to you. You have a lot more interests, and you're very capable of learning new things. And in the dragonfly spirit, I see that you're somebody who loves to just find out what is really going on in the world. One thing that is attractive about you is that you won't look away, you won't turn away from issues in society as well as just this world in general, and that is attractive, group number 3. You're not the kind of person who's going to take no for an answer. You're not going to take any sort of answer that you feel is not truthful. You want to know what is going on, and that is what I see in the dragonfly spirit. You will not take any sort of like corporate, oh, we're not going to say anything to this situation. We're not going to comment on our little lawsuit. You don't allow that to just be the answer. You want to know what really happened, group number 3. So you're very much of an investigator, okay, a little Sherlock Holmes, if you will. Then we have the message as well as the ocean of eternal love. So one thing that I see here is that in the message, you are perceived as a very positive kind of person. Whenever you're around, people definitely feel like there is a little shift in positivity. In the ocean of eternal love, I see here that you're probably very attractive because you're like that husband or wife material. You're that material. You're not material of person. Like material, is that even a thing? You're the kind of person who is made out of that forever material, be it as a friend, be it as a partner or romantic partner. People trust you, people find you to be loyal, and that is attractive, group number 3. You're the kind of person where people want to start a family with you because the qualities, the integrity that you have within you is not just something that they want for a night or for a couple of weeks. They truly appreciate what is in you once they get to also see you're very nurturing and like maternal, parental kind of energy where you're protective, where you're able to teach and just provide a certain amount of wisdom, provide a certain amount of just loving energy to another living being, and that is attractive about you. Then we have eternal love and purification. So again, we have the ocean of eternal love and we just have eternal love over here. So in eternal love, one thing that I see here that it makes you very attractive is that you always want to fulfill whoever you're with. You always want to make the people around you happy. So the fact that you like to please others makes you attractive. It makes you the kind of person that people want to be around. And in purification, I want you to know here that you're probably somebody who will stay looking very young for a long time. So maybe right now you have a baby face and you don't feel attractive because somehow people just see you as a little baby. But in 10, 20, 30 years, you will be so happy about that. You'll be laughing, smiling, thinking to yourself, I wish I would have appreciated my youthful energy a little more. So while you are mature, like looks-wise on the exterior, you're somebody who is more youthful, you're definitely somebody who keeps other people young, and that is one thing that they appreciate in you, and that is one thing that makes them feel good when they are around you. So group number 3, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below what really hit home and resonated with you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming readings. Hello group number 4 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Tiger Eye group number 4. Let's do a little close-up real quick, shall we? I love this stone. I think it is so gorgeous, and so many of you have commented in the past saying that this looks like a piece of cake. Really? But anyways, I'm not judging. Let's move right into your reading. We have strength. So one thing that I see here is that you have a big presence, group number 4. I see that you're the kind of person where people maybe feel a little intimidated, but you're very courageous, okay? So yes, people feel intimidated by you, but that's kind of like their own thing that they need to deal with. But when it comes to the hurdles in your life, you're somebody who is willing to jump through hoops, to jump over hurdles, even if those hoops are on fire or those hurdles are a lot bigger than you're used to, and you are able to do that just to get to the other side, just to receive the results that you desire, because you know that there's only like one chance. You only have one life in this body, whether you're religious or believe in reincarnation. Like, you have one chance in this body, you have one chance to make it happen now in this lifetime, and you want to take that chance. Then we have the 5 of Shells. So group number 4 in the 5 of Shells, one thing that I see here is that you allow people to feel hopeful, okay? So we don't have that much about your exterior appearance, but on the inside, group number 4, which is the most important part, is the fact that you're able to help people readjust, because sometimes when people are really down, and you've been down before, you've been at really low points in your life where you had to get yourself back up, where you had to find that glimmer of hope, and you now give other people that glimmer of hope. You allow them to see like, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. So you're very encouraging, you're very, very motivational, and you're the kind of person where like when people have you by their side, they feel protected and they feel like they have somebody who they can truly trust. Then we have the 8 of Acorns as well as the Hanged Man. So group number 4 in the 8 of Acorns, one thing that I see here is that you're kind of mysterious, okay? One thing that I see is that people don't really know what to make of you when they first meet you. One thing that I see is that they may almost find you a little scary, okay? So you might be the kind of person who will not really talk very much unless you know the person or unless there's something specific that they're asking you. You might be more observant, okay? And that makes people's heart race a little quicker. That makes people feel a little bit uneasy. And in the Hanged Man, I definitely see that that is because you're a patient kind of person. You like to see things from different perspectives. You like to watch people, observe how they act, how they respond, what they do, before you're really going to lean into a relationship. So on the attractive scale, I definitely see that first and foremost, you're a little bit more scary and intimidating than you are attractive, group number 4. And I'm just going to say it how it is for you. Then we have the Rhino Spirit as well as the Scarab Beetle Spirit. So in the Scarab Beetle Spirit, one thing that I see here is that you're the kind of person who can basically fit into any situation. You are the kind of person who can make the best out of every situation, and people find that really cool. People find that, you know, the fact that they can invite you anywhere and you can just blend in, you can just be a part of the crowd, you can talk to anybody who is there, whether it is a child or somebody who is academically somewhere very high up in the ranks. You can hold a conversation with anybody. And in the Rhino Spirit, I see that overcoming obstacles is like a second nature to you, and we spoke about this in Strength. The fact that you have the courage to overcome things no matter how big they may seem to other people. And furthermore, in the Rhino Spirit, I also find that you probably don't see other people's attractiveness the way they conventionally would, okay? And I feel like you attract that same kind of person. So let me explain group number 4. Give me the chance to explain. So by society standards, let's just say having green skin and purple eyes is like the thing. That is what is hot. And you're the kind of person who doesn't even see people with green skin and purple eyes. Like, you find people with blue skin and yellow eyes to be like the most bomb kind of person out there. Okay, so you don't go by society standards, and the same goes for you. So if you're more unconventional, if you're somebody who is a little bit more different, who stands out a little bit more, like the kind of person who finds you attractive is not the kind of person who finds like the cookie cutter version of a man or a woman attractive. They like somebody who is a little different, who has a little bit of an edge, and who isn't afraid to express themselves. So I see some sort of like unconventional beauty here. I see some sort of side that is a bit unusual, you know, where yes, you might also be attractive by conventional standards, but that doesn't really apply for you because that is not the scene that you're trying to gain approval of. You're the kind of person who just wants to be more themselves and who wants people to like you for you, not your appearance. But obviously being attractive or being cute can sometimes be beneficial. Let's be honest, this world is very superficial. And that is one thing that, yes, you know, is great to have, but you don't rely on that, and you will never conform just to fit into that mold that society or the media has sort of formed or set out for us to fit in. Then we have the Enchanted Forest as well as Winter's End. So in the Enchanted Forest, one thing that I see here is just like mystery, something different, something magical, something exciting, okay? So you most likely are the kind of person that makes other people feel excited. You're maybe also somebody where other people almost like fantasize about being with you just because they wonder what it would be like, or they have a certain image of how it would feel to spend time with you and be intimate with you. Then in Winter's End, one thing that I see here is that you're always very positive. You're always looking for the next thing where you can plant sort of like on fertile ground, okay? So you're always looking as to where you can put your little seeds, where you can sow your seeds in order to reap the benefits later down the line. So instant gratification is not something that you need. Obviously, we all love it, but you're not the kind of person who needs that. You're the kind of person who likes to think a little long term, who likes to plan ahead. Then we have the seahorse spirit as well as the giraffe spirit. So in the seahorse spirit, one thing that I see that is attractive about you is that you don't feel as though there are specific gender roles, okay? If you need to wear the pants, if you need to be the person, you know, bringing home the checks, making sure that everybody is fed, you will do that. But at the same time, if you have time to have a child, if you have time to be at home, if that is something that you're in the mood to do, then you're going to do that. But you do not feel the pressure to have to conform to one specific kind of thing, group number 4. Then in the giraffe spirit, as I said previously, in the winter's end, you see the big picture. You're not the kind of person who has a very sort of narrow mind or vision, if you will. Well, narrow mind is almost like a little bit of a mean way to say it, but that is not something that you have. You're somebody who is not judgmental. You're somebody who gives everybody a fair chance. So group number 4, I feel really like you're attractive, especially to people who are also like different, especially to people who also know what it feels like to maybe stand out or to just be themselves and not really care to be attractive by society's standards and the conventions that are sort of like the norm. So I truly hope that this reading hit home, group number 4. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what fascinated you the most and what resonated the most with you, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos. Hello group number 5 and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Coffee Obsidian, group number 5. This is such a beautiful speckled mineral. I absolutely love this. It's just like, it's so gorgeous. So I want to move straight into your reading about how attractive you really are. We have the Two of Shells. So you're the kind of person that people want to be in a relationship with. So this may come as a shock, but this is how attractive you are to other people, okay? Not how attractive you think that you are. So group number 5, know here that you're definitely made to work in a group setting. You're somebody who can cooperate very easily and who also is very, very much like a commitment kind of person, okay? You do well in commitment. You do well in a situation where being loyal will pave the way to more success because you're a loyal person. You're not the kind of person who is going to go behind somebody's back and talk bad about them or try and sabotage a situation or try and be with multiple people at once. That is not you, and people like that. People appreciate that about you. Then we have the Awakening. So in the Awakening, one thing that I see here is that you have the kind of personality that is very intriguing because you're sort of like enlightened kind of thinking, the fact that you're probably also a little spiritual. Whether that has to do with religion or not, it doesn't really matter, but just that openness to seeing things from different viewpoints, as well as being selfless to a certain degree, that is something that really attracts people to want to have that strong connection with you, to want to maybe be in that relationship where commitment is the main focus, because they know that you will be able to see things from their perspective. You will not judge, and you're very much okay with completely changing your viewpoint, with completely changing how you see things in life. So some people see things in life and you know, that's how they grew up, that's how they lived through their adult life, and even in older age, even as senior citizens, they still have the same outlook on certain things. So that could be their worldview, that could be their perception about people and people's looks, for instance. But you are willing to change, you are willing to go with the times, and that is cool, group number 5. I really think that that is one of the things that people appreciate, that maybe even though your upbringing may have been more conservative or more sheltered, or just in a way how you could have had very, very many preconceived notions, you decided not to. And that is one thing that makes you attractive. Then we have the lion spirit as well as the elephant spirit. So I see very majestic kind of energy. I see energy that is mature, energy that people are sometimes intimidated by or afraid to go near. So in the lion spirit, yes, you are a generous person, but only to those who deserve it. You're not just going to be generous to anybody. You're not just here for freebies or to waste time and so on and so forth. That has all maybe happened to you in the past, but right now, you know, that is not the time for it. So in the lion spirit, I see that you pick and choose who is worthy of time as well as dedication, because you have learned from the past. That is what the elephant spirit stands for. The elephant, everybody knows elephants never forget anything, and the same goes for you, group number 5. You have learned and you use that experience in order to make the now better and more efficient. And the same goes for your personal life as well as your work life. You use past experiences in order to have everything work smoothly and be successful right now. Then we have the panther spirit as well as the deer spirit. So you're very powerful and at the same time kind of fragile. So you may have like a very petite frame, or you may be somebody who is really young or inexperienced in the field where you work in, or people just kind of like chronically underestimate you, which in turn kind of like makes you attractive, because a lot of people like to be with people who allow them to feel more superior. I don't know how to describe it properly. A lot of people like to be with people who make them feel bigger, if you know what I mean. Then in the deer spirit, you know, you just bring like a gentle touch to everything, but if you are rubbed the wrong way, if somebody crosses you, like, do I have to say anything else? Like, you're just naturally the kind of person who will not hesitate to pounce and go right for the neck, okay? You're not here for anybody to hurt you. You're not here for anybody to play games. But that is also something that people find attractive, because it means that you don't allow others to walk all over you, which will attract the right kind of person. The people who don't find that attractive, the people who don't think that you are attractive because of that personality trait, are probably people who want to do just that. They might want to use you or walk all over you or just treat you in a way how you know that you don't want to be treated. And when they see that they can't do that, then they look for the next person, or they basically just turn away from you, because that is not what they're looking for. Then we have Ganesha as well as the flame tree. So in Ganesha, one thing that I see here is that you're very much guided, okay? You're somebody who is protected spiritually. So you take this very seriously. You probably take your karma very seriously, just being a good person and knowing that good will come back to you. And in the flame tree, I want you to know that you're somebody who, because of that, is always going to have the chance to start something new that can be very fruitful and that can grow into something really big. The fact that you really care about how you treat others and the kind of energy that you emit out into the universe and onto this planet, it just will always help guide you and make you very fortunate. Then we have the koi fish spirit as well as the butterfly spirit. So one thing that I see here in the koi fish spirit is that there could be some sort of feeling as to where people think that you don't need anything, okay? So they see you as strong. They see you as somebody who is like mature, authoritative, out there, and they may often think that you are more of the personality who doesn't need help, who doesn't ever need a shoulder to cry on, which is not necessarily true. Yes, I mean, you have like your circle, you have the people who you love, who you care about, but you're also just a human. You're also somebody who sometimes needs to vent, who needs to just cry and bawl their eyes out. And in the butterfly spirit, I want you to know that your transformations that you go through make you beautiful. So you may have gone through a lot of different phases. You may have gone through a lot of times in your life where you were basically like one person 1 month, and then a few months later you were completely different because something changed how you view the world. Something completely changed you on the inside, some information that you may have received. And yes, some people do not like that. Some people don't find it attractive, the fact that you're able to change, but those are probably not the people for you anyways. The people who you would want around you or who you would want to be with are the ones who love the fact that you're so adaptable and that you're willing to take leaps of faith. Those who are afraid of you, they're afraid of taking leaps of faith themselves, and you sort of challenge their worldview, which makes you unattractive to them because you put this fear inside of them. You hold up like almost like a mirror to their face, showing them their exact fears, the things that they worry about, while you're out here just doing it. So there is some element of jealousy here, group number 5. That is one thing that I see. So a lot of people might find you attractive, but not many people will admit it or want to admit it because of the reasons that we spoke about. But don't worry, group number 5, that is something that a lot of people need to deal with and go through. It can feel like a lonely place, but remember in the 2 of Shells that your loved ones, the people who truly care about you, will always be there to catch you, pick you up, and will always understand when you need a moment to cry and to vent, but you have to communicate it. You have to make sure that you let them know that that's what you need. So group number 5, this is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and that you found it insightful. Let me know down below what really hit home, and I will see you in one of my upcoming videos.